Hare Krishna. So, in the last chapter, chapter number 16, we came across some of our qualities which we demonstrate at different times in different ways. Sometimes we are godly, and sometimes we are devilish. Sometimes we are good, sometimes we are bad, driven by our own gunas, with which we are born. And these gunas are, as you know, sattva, rajas, and tamas, or goodness, passion, and ignorance. These gunas we have accumulated over several births. And whatever is the dominated guna, dominated mode that we are endowed with, that is what manifests in our day-to-day behavior. And there are plenty of qualities, and Sri Krishna took extra pain to describe the demonic qualities because he has found that in plenty, and he wants us to recognize that first. So unless we know where our faults are, how are we going to improve? When people of demonic nature, they don't find fault in themselves, they find fault with everybody else. You may have remembered this Mahabharata story. Krishna asked Dharmaraja Yudhishthira to go find one bad person in the whole town. He went around, came back disappointed, and told Sri Krishna, I could not find one bad person in the whole town. Maybe I am the only bad person that I can think of. Whereas, when Duryodhana was told, go and find one good person in the whole town, he also came back equally disappointed. And he said, I couldn't find one good person in the town. The only good person I can think of is me. First, they don't know what is pravritti and what is navritti. That is the first mistake. Next, they know what is pravritti and navritti, yet they don't have the willpower to follow that. That's also Duryodhana's plight, because he knew what is right. He tells Krishna, when Sri Krishna tells Duryodhana, see, do not fight a war like this. Just give 5 villages and the Pandavas will be happy. Pandavas won't waste a war and nobody will be destroyed and everybody will be happy. He says, don't give me lecture. I know what is right. He said, I know what is dharma. I don't have the capacity and willpower to do it. And I know what is adharma, what is wrong, but I just don't have the willpower to not to do it. So they are the second level of demonics. They are not just ignorant, they are arrogant as well. And if they are arrogant, if they are ignorant, they could have been forgiven. In the last chapter, Krishna said, one who does not follow the Shastras or scriptures, such a person doesn't attain anything in life. He does everything wrong. At the end, he does not attain sukh, happiness, or true happiness, and don't reach the highest state of realization. And Krishna goes on and said, listen to the words of Shastras, understand them completely, and follow them. And then you will understand what is to be done, what is not to be done, according to the Shastras. And having known whatever Shastras is saying, perform your actions in the world. So this is what Sri Krishna advises. And I told it's not just Shastras are like mothers. Even if you are at fault, we make mistake, they again come and help us. They are compassionate. Same like Guru or GPS in the modern world. If you don't follow the GPS, the poor GPS resets itself and find you another path to get you out of the mess and find you another road and take you back to the original route. So this is what happens. Shastras are like this. They're always there. That's why Shastra Pramana, the first step. Second step is Tarkavad. Our scriptures and shastras are daring and so confident about themselves. They say, come on, have an argument, have a debate if you don't agree with us. And you can question the shastras and you can question what is written over there. And then Swanubhava. At the end, realize it by practicing and experiencing the truth for yourself. Then the truth becomes yours. Otherwise, it remains the property of the Shastra, the scriptures, or the books, or the Guru. It does not become yours. It only becomes yours when you have followed the injunctions. So the last idea, the last chapter we heard is follow the Shastras. They're telling us what to do, when to do, how to do, when not to do, how not to do. All these are mentioned. Go and refer to these. And the best Shastra, the Yoga Shastra that we have is Bhagavad Gita itself. So Bhagavad Gita tells us what to do, how to do, when to do, what not to do, when not to do, and things like that. This chapter is precisely about that. We are approaching the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita slowly. And this is the penultimate chapter, chapter number 17. And there is chapter number 18, which is more or less the conclusion, and also the summary of all the things that we have spoken so far. So the acronym of the chapter is faith, austerities, charity, enjoyer or of everything. F. Faith. This chapter starts with Arjuna's question. Arjuna's question was, okay, the one who have faith in scriptures, they are divine. And the one who do not have faith in scriptures, they are demoniac. But oh Krishna, what about them who have some faith, but not based on scriptures? What about them? So this is the question that is asked by Arjuna, and this is the first question, and Krishna is elaborating and giving the detailed answer to this question. From second shloka onwards, Krishna is giving the answer. He said, their faith is based on three modes of material nature: mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. After that, he makes a strong statement about the worship. Based on the faith, their worship also is decided. So the people in the mode of goodness, they worship Devi Devtas. People in the mode of passion, they worship demons. And the people in the mode of ignorance, they worship ghosts and spirits. In shloka number 5 and 6, Krishna said that the austerities and penances they are done, not as per the recommendation of scriptures. The person is torturing themselves and he's torturing the super soul within, because he's not following the scriptures. After this, Krishna is elaborately describing various aspects in the three modes of material nature. First, food in the three modes. So food in goodness increases the duration of life, purifies one's existence, gives strength, health, happiness, satisfaction. And how are these food stuff? Juicy, fatty, wholesome. And when it comes to passion, food in passion gives stress, misery, disease. And how are these food stuff? Too bitter, too sour, too salty, hot, pungent, dry, burning. And what about ignorance food? These are tasteless, decomposed, portrayed, consistent of romance and untouchable things, and pulls the person into darkness. So these are the food in three modes. Now Krishna is talking about sacrifice in three modes. In goodness, person is doing sacrifice, but then he's doing as a matter of duty without any expectation in return. In mode of passion, he's doing for some material return or some material benefit he wants, or for the sake of pride to show off that I'm doing something. In the mode of ignorance, what sacrifice does, it'll be without the direction of the scriptures, without distributing food, without giving dakshina to the priest who have come, without chanting Vedic hymns. Such sacrifice is in the mode of ignorance. Austerities. In this section, Krishna is talking about austerity in three modes. In the initial section, Krishna is talking about austerity of body, speech, and mind. After this, Krishna is talking about austerity in three modes. So what is austerity of body? Giving respect to others, to superiors, supreme lord, to brahmanas, to the spiritual master, cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. When it comes to austerity of speech, the words or speech should be truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others. Krishna explains, if you speak words which are truthful, pleasing, and beneficial, then not only will it make others happy, but it will make yourself happy as well. How we speak is very, very important. One time a person, he accused someone else of doing something, and he spoke very harsh words. And then later on he realized that actually he was wrong. So this person, he felt very bad. So he went to the local saint and he said, I've done this. How can I repair the situation? So the saint said, take this pillow. And what I want you to do, go to the middle of the town and cut open the pillow and just let the feathers go everywhere. This man found this little strange, but nevertheless, he still did it. He went to the middle of the town, cut open the pillow, and feathers went flying in all directions. And then he came back to the saint. He said, okay, I've done it. What next? The saint said, now I want you to do is to collect every single one of those feathers and put it back in the pillow. And then the man said, impossible. So the saint said, in the same way, you've spoken harshly. You said things in anger. And those words have now had their effect. You cannot take it back so easily. So therefore Krishna said, how we live, how we speak, we should be very, very conscious, because this has a great effect on our own life and has a great effect on those around us. So after this, Krishna is talking about austerity of mind. In shloka number 16, Krishna said, satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, and purification of one's existence. These are the austerities of mind. And now all these austerities, when done in a goodness, so the person who's doing this austerity, he's doing it with faith, not expecting anything in return. He's doing it only for the sake of the Supreme. This is the mode of goodness austerity. Mode of passion austerity, the person is doing this to gain some respect out of pride, to gain some honor, to gain some worship. And it is said such thing is not stable or permanent. And what about the austerity or penance in the mode of ignorance? It is performed out of foolishness, self-torture, and it is sometimes also destroy or injure others. This is the austerity in the mode of ignorance. Charity. So after speaking about food, sacrifice, austerity, Krishna is speaking about charity in three modes. So charity in goodness, so that is done out of duty. Whenever goodness comes, we should remember it without any expectation. They are not expecting any reimbursement or any reward or whatever, just doing out of duty. And charity done at proper time, place, and to a worthy person. So this comes in the category of charity in goodness. Now charity in passion. It is performed with some expectation. I want some return. I want some reimbursement. I want some material gain. Or the person is not interested to give charity. He's forced to give in a grudging mood. He's given. Chalo le lo. And the charity which he is giving, and after that thinking, why did I give it? So such charity are in the mode of passion. Mode of ignorance charity is what? Charity given in improper place, improper time, and to an unworthy person. So even if the person is worthy but the respect is not given, charity is done without any attention. Even such a thing, such a charity is categorized as charity in ignorance. Tamsik dana. Enjoyer of everything. Now, after hearing all this, three modes of material nature in all these different activities, a person might have this question that, okay, we are already defective. Our activities will be defective. Is there any way to overcome these defects, these shortcomings? And this section, Krishna is saying that by chanting the holy names of the Lord, and specifically he's saying Om Tat Sat, or in general, chanting the holy names of the Lord, what happens? All these activities which are there, all of them, even if some defects, some shortcomings, some flaw might be there, but then all of them will overcome by chanting the holy names. How's that? It's like a proper solution to all the Kali Yuga jivas, because we will commit some or other offense, some or other mistakes, some or other flaws will be there. Just by chanting the holy name, everything will be taken care. Now, after hearing all this, Om Tat Sat, that Sat is like eternal. After hearing about eternal, we might get this question, okay, then what is Asat? What is temporary? Then Krishna is saying in the last sloka of this chapter, anything, be it sacrifice, be it austerity, be it charity, done without faith in Supreme is Asat. And such a thing is not useful in this life or in the next. So basically, in this entire chapter, Krishna made it very clear that faith in Supreme is very, very important. We might gradually progress from ignorance to passion to goodness, but we don't have much time. How much gradual it will be? How much gradual will progress? So direct progress is needed. And how to get that faith in Supreme directly? By associating with bona fide spiritual master, a pure devotee of the Lord. And this faith that is there in their heart, when we serve them, is transferred to our hearts also. Or to be more specific or precise, is duplicated in our hearts also. So in this way, in this entire chapter, Krishna made it very clear. Take the direct path. Take the direct path of associating with pure devotees and come back to me. Don't waste time here. So with this, we've completed chapter number 17. Now we're going to enter the final chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Chapter number 18. And we will cover this in my next video. Hare Krishna.